What's up, guys? Welcome back to the LOM podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my main channel, Jay Lyons. It will be linked in the description. So thank you if you do that. And if not, enjoy this episode. Peace. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. It's me. It's me, Jay. Welcome back. Oh, man. I had like no ideas for this episode. Cause like, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it, doing an episode today. But then I looked at my old list of ideas. Remember like a long time ago, I talked about like a shit ton of times on a ton of different episodes. I was like, oh yeah, I got all these great ideas. And then I just never used them. Well, I was like, you know what? How about we look back at the old list and see if there was any ideas that I had written down and didn't talk about. And there were a few, so I guess we'll get into those. But before we do, I'll just talk about what happened this week because, it's another thing to talk about. So I went to Port Canaveral this past week on like Friday, I think. And I went with two of my friends, and for the longest time, one of them, he's been wanting to go to Port Canaveral for like a long time, right? For like months. He's been like, hey, you guys want to go to Port Canaveral? You guys want to go to Port Canaveral? Blah, 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 blah. And, not that like we don't want to go, not that I don't want to go, but it's just like, I don't really know what there is to do out there except go to the beach and eat and shop, which is all shit, except for the beach, which is all things that I could just do here. Like, if you really want to eat, we can eat here in Orlando. Like, we don't need to drive like 45 minutes to an hour to the coast to eat. Although, like, probably one of my favorite restaurants is out there, so like, I do like going out there to eat at that place. But other than that, like, I don't really know what there is to do because, this might be blasphemy for some people, but I just don't really like going to the beach a whole lot. I know. You guys are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. And it's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. It's true. It's not that I don't like the beach, but it's just like, I don't know. Every time I go to the beach, I would usually just like go in the water because like, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You go to the beach because you want to go in the water, right? But the problem is, like, every time I went in the water, like, with all the salt and all that stuff, like, every time I got out, like, even after you dry off, you got, like, salt residue on you, And, then you have to shower. And, like, I know that they have those showers at the beach that you can go to rinse off. But, that doesn't really do the trick, really. Like, you have to go home and, like, get some soap out and like deep scrub your skin. And you got to deep wash your hair with shampoo. It's like they don't have soap and shampoo at the beach for you to use at the shower. Like it's just to like rinse off, it's just for you to feel like somewhat decent. But like you still feel gross, especially like my hair. And like, come on, look at my hair. Well, actually I don't know if a lot of you know how picky I am about my hair. Like, I let it do whatever, but at the same time, like, I don't like it when it's messed up. So, I also just don't like getting it wet, because then it's just messed up. It's just, it doesn't work, because I can't put it back like this after it's wet. It just, because everything just falls flat, right? But anyways, yeah, so I just don't really like getting my hair wet. And plus, going to the beach, when you get the salt in your hair and the sand, like then it's just really gross, and then you just get like sand at your scalp and you're like, oh, get out. You know what I'm saying? So like recently, every time I go to the beach, like I just don't go in the water. I just sort of like relax on the sand, which is cool and all, but I don't know. I'm just not really a huge fan. Like there's like people who just like love going to the beach, and that's great. Like like I said, like it's not that I hate going to the beach. Like I'll go to the beach, but it's kind of like clubbing. There's some friends of mine who love to go clubbing. They love to go to the club and just party every single night. And like that's cool. I don't mind going to the club, but it's not something that I want to do all the time. If I had a choice, I'd rather have like a house party and a kickback, so to speak, at like somebody's house or at my place, or just a relaxing event with just my friends. Because like you go to the club and you're just surrounded by like 99% strangers, and then they're like bumping into you, and then they get pissed, and it's like you bumped me. Like I don't know why you're mad at me. You came charging at me. I'm here dancing, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, dude? What? Why are you in my way? Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't speak. I'm sorry that this dance floor is only 8 foot by 8 foot, and then there's like 1,000 of us trying to party in here. Like I didn't make the design. I'm not the architect. Okay, take it up with them. Okay, if you want more room, go to Rooms to Go. They got tons of rooms. There you go. But yeah, so I don't really go. I don't like going to the club a whole lot, and so it's kind of like the same way with the beach. Like I'll go. I enjoy going to the beach. It's fun. I'll play beach volleyball. Love that. But also like I sunburned easily, and I don't like putting on sunscreen because I hate the smell of sunscreen. I'm just like so much complaints. I'm just like a whiny bitch. Like when I think about it, but. Like I'll put on sunscreen because I need to, or else I'm gonna pay for it the next day. And trust me, I've had some bad sunburn, and it's not fun. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of going to the beach. But like I said, I will still go. Okay, so don't be like, oh my god, he hates the beach. He'll never go. No, I'll go. Like, dude, come on. I love cruising, and I get off the ship and I go to the beach. I do enjoy it, okay? I don't hate it. It's not like the number one thing I like to do all the time. But anyway, so yeah, other than going to the beach, there's not really much to do at Port Canaveral. But he's been wanting to go. He's like, dude, we got to go. And so, finally I was like, okay, I got Friday off. I'm not doing anything. I haven't seen these guys in a hot minute, so... let's try out Port Canaveral, because he had asked once again. He's like, "Hey, you guys want to go to Port Canaveral this week?" So I was like, "Okay, fine, we'll go. That's cool with me." And my other friend, he's like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool with me." We set a time, and we were gonna go. And I was kind of wondering what we were gonna do, but I also kind of figured my friend who's been dying to go. Obviously, he has plans. Obviously, there's something he wants to do. So. I'll just follow him. I'll see where he takes me. See if there's anything cool, right? And so Friday comes around, they come over. Like we met up at my place and we carpooled over there because it's just kind of like a waste of gas for 3 of us all to go. And I'm like, in terms of us 3, I was like the closest to Port Canaveral, and so we just met here. We got in my car and we drove over to Port Canaveral, and we're laughing, having a good time in the car, listening to some like banging music, some like, some slap happy dingalings, some bing bang bingers, dingalingers, and we're having a good time. And as we're getting closer to Port Canaveral, I'm waiting for my friend to tell me like what he wants to do, but I'm also kind of hungry because it was like around lunchtime. I hadn't had lunch. And so I was like, I'm kind of hungry. So I said to them, I was like, hey, I'm kind of hungry. Are you guys hungry? Because I was going to suggest my favorite restaurant, but it's kind of like a sit-down place. But it's not like a fancy restaurant. But I just want to know like how hungry they were. Because if they weren't really that hungry, then we could have just went to like a fast food place. Like I really didn't mind. But one of my buddies, he was really hungry. He's like, dude, I'm starving. And so I was like, okay, if you guys want... My favorite restaurant's over here. It's like right on the port. We can see the cruise ships because there was cruise ships in port, and I love cruises. So I was like, we can go there if you guys want. And they're like, yeah, that's cool with me. So we go over there and we get a table. We sit down, and we're just having a nice lunch at the port. There's like 3 cruise ships in, and I got a pina colada, regular. Which was really good. Got a burger. A friend got my friend got like a salmon or something. I don't remember. But anyways, we had our lunch. Everything's great. And we were kind of chilling there after we had already paid the bill. Like we stayed like another 30 minutes, which was probably rude of us, but we were having such a good conversation and I was too tired to get up. We were just chilling there and it was good. It was great. And so then when we finally decide we want to leave, we get up and we're walking to my car and I say, so what do you guys want to do next? And I'm mainly looking at the dude who's been dying to go to Port Canaveral for months, right? Because I'm like, dude, what do you have planned? And he was the first one to speak. He's like, dude, I don't know. What is there to do here? And I'm like, bitch, you've been dying to go to Port Canaveral for months. I thought you had some sort of plan. I thought there was something super cool here that you wanted to do, or at least a variety of things that you wanted to do. And you got nothing? You're asking me what is there to do? Why would I know? I've never suggested going to Port Canaveral. But I kept that to myself and I was like, okay, well, there is the beach, though none of us was in beach attire. And so I was like, there's no way we're going to the beach. But I was like, there's a beach and I'm like, there's a big ass Ron John's shop that we can go to, which I usually go to. Like I go to Port Canaveral for the beach a lot. Cocoa Beach. That's what it's called. I go to Cocoa Beach a lot. At least I used to. And every time we would leave the beach, we would stop at the Ron John shop. Like, even though we didn't buy anything every single time. A few times we did, but we mainly went because it was just really cool. It was a giant 2-story Ron John surf shop. And they had like everything. And actually, one time I got a ukulele, which I still have, but I don't know how to play. But hopefully that will change soon. Because I do kind of want to start playing more instruments. I'm a musical guy. And so I suggested the Ron John shop. They didn't want to go to that. And I was like, okay, it's one of the coolest Ron John shops I've ever been in. But I don't know. Maybe you guys just don't care about Ron Johns, which I guess is cool. But I'm like I said, I'm into cruising. I do like the beach. I like beachy vibes. And so that's why I like Ron John's, because they got some like cool ass shirts, ukuleles. That's also where I got my my Ron John's mug that has my name on it. I got it from that place. I saw it and I was like, dude, I've never gotten any sort of merchandise that has my name on it. They have like those keychains all the time, and some places like they'll have shot glasses, and a lot of times there's mugs and all that stuff. I've never gotten anything like that. And so I like Ron John's. The mug was like a beachy, tropical, bohemian vibe to it. So I was like, there's a first time for everything. So I got the mug, and yeah, that's just where I got it. But they didn't want to go there. And I was like, what the hell? That place is awesome. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't know what else there is to do. I mentioned that I remember that there was like that there looked like that there was like a nature walk near the beach somewhere. But when we went there, I don't know if it had closed down. I mean, it was just like overgrown, or if they industrialized it, because there was a path, but it was like a wooden path. Like it was like a wooden bridge, and it was just like cutting through the woods to get to another parking lot. And I'm like, dude, I swear, when I was a kid, like we would come here, there was no wooden path, but there was a sign that said it was a nature hike to see like beach plants or something. I don't know. And I think there's also like raccoons and like different animals around that they're like, oh, you can see if you go on this path. And so like that was what I remember. But I guess they did away with that, and they just said, you know what? We'll just make it a path to another parking lot, which kind of sucks because, I like nature trails. When I was up north, there was like this whole ass forest right by campus that had like shit ton of nature trails through it, and I used to just walk all the time through there. A lot of times it was like with a bunch of my friends. We all wanted to go on nature hikes, because also there was like this viewing point. It was like on top of a mountain, and you can look out into the bay, because the school was like on the shore. And so you can like look out into the bay and see the ocean and all that shit. It was really cool. But sometimes I would go like just myself, just to like, get like in a nice frame of mind, real like hippie type shit, but it was fun. And I thoroughly enjoyed going during the winter when it was like all snowy and all that. That was really fun. Anyways, yeah, so I enjoy nature trails. So it kind of sucks that this nature trail was basically done away with. And they're like, we're just going to turn it into a walkway to a parking lot. But regardless, we walked it because it was kind of through like the bushes and the trees that was in between the beach entrance and the other parking lot. No animals though, and it was like really boring. There was no beach plants. So I don't know, maybe they just died and they're like, yeah, this isn't really that much of a nature trail anymore. So, but either way, it did kind of suck because I like nature trails. So we kind of walked, realized it was just to a parking lot, and we're like, well, this is boring. So we kind of walked down the boardwalk along the beach. We didn't go on the beach because also it said the beach was closed for some event and there was like a big ass tent. So I don't know, maybe there's like a wedding going on there. But it was kind of a poor timing because there was a big storm coming in. So there was like a lot of wind and like that tent was like, I swear it was going to like take off in the wind. And it kind of like started drizzling a little bit while we were there. And so we're like, okay, let's go back to the car, find something else to do. And like, dude, I'm still having a blast because I'm hanging out with my friends and I'm like talking to them and all that stuff. So like, I didn't really mind, but I was just kind of like confused. I was like, dude, you wanted to come to Port Canaveral so bad, and then you had nothing planned. You had no ideas. There was nothing that you wanted to do. I even asked them while we were there when I said, like, I think it was like when we were at the beach or something like that. I said, hey, it's starting to rain. Where do you guys want to do anything else before we leave or something like that? And he said once again, he's like, I don't know, what else is there to do here? And I said to him, I was like, dude, you're the one who wanted to come to Port Canaveral. And he said some like BS shit like, oh, I just picked a random city on the East Coast. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Of all the random cities you could have picked, like, why Port Canaveral? You know what I mean? Like, if you just want to pick a random place that you think would be fun, but you don't know for sure if it's going to be fun, that's on the East Coast, why not pick Miami? I mean, sure, it's a hell of a drive, but I mean, that it's probably more fun than Port Canaveral. Actually, I guarantee it's more fun than Port Canaveral. But regardless, but we just kind of like left. We were there for like I don't know, a few hours, 4 or 5 hours, something like that, between like getting there and having lunch and then leaving and all that stuff. But it was still fun. Great time in the car. Listen to some more, slap happy banging tunes, some bangers, some ding dong dingers, ding-a-lingers, you know what I'm talking about? Anyways. Yeah, so we just went home and we kind of like chilled at my place for a little bit, and then they had to go. My one friend, he had some like dancing class to go to. He was trying to get me to go, and I did want to. If you're listening, I really did. I wanted to go to your dance class that you were going to because it did sound fun, but I had work to do, and luckily I did finish it that night. But I had work to do. I'm sorry, I had schoolwork. I had schoolwork for this one class where I swear the teacher knows that it's an easy-ass class. And so he's like, I'm going to make this class as complicated as possible. And I'm like, there's no need for that. There really isn't. Like, I know that you're probably bummed that people take your class because it's like an easy A and stuff like that. But, it's a liberal arts class, dude. So, like, everyone has to take it, and everyone's just trying to get a good grade. Like, all the classes people are going to take because they're easy. So you're really being a dick for trying to make it complicated for us to like gain something. I don't know. Because like hell, even my core classes are super simple, and I feel like within how many weeks have I been doing summer semester? Like 3 weeks, something like that. I think within these first 3 weeks, I learned more in my core classes that are easy than I have in this liberal arts class, and it's really complicated. And that's purely because my core classes, because they're so laxed, I have time to like breathe, you know? I have time to look at the material, understand it, and execute work. Whereas like this guy is just like, hey, we're on a schedule, we gotta do this, that, and the other. And so like now I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to get this work done so I get a grade. I'm just trying to get a good grade. So as long as I get this work turned in at a certain time, that's cool with me. Like I'm not really taking time to fully understand it, which is probably detrimental to me. But once again, it's just a liberal arts class. Like it doesn't really matter in the long run in terms of things I want to do. So I'm sorry, dude, but like I just don't really care. Okay, I just want a good grade. That's all I want. So yeah, dude, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with that process, so to speak. Anyways, so that was my Friday. That was pretty much the only really interesting thing that happened, because like this past week I've been just doing a lot of work. I filmed another video. I edited the last video, I think. Yeah, when I'm talking about like on my main channel, I edited the last video last week and I uploaded it, and I also shot a second video, and I just finished editing it. Technically, I finished editing it yesterday, but I didn't like do a final run through and export it until today. And I've pretty much have given up on my home editing software. So like at my school, because I'm learning film, we have access to the lab, which has Adobe Premiere Pro on it. And this is not a sponsorship, okay? I'm just I'm just telling you my experience. And so they have Adobe Premiere Pro there, and that's what we use to edit our projects and stuff like that. And so I've become quite acquainted with Premiere Pro. I'm not going to say I'm like an expert in using Premiere Pro, because God knows there's a shit ton of stuff I still don't understand or know how to do on Premiere Pro. But I don't have Adobe Premiere Pro at my home computer. I have another editing software from I think it's like Blackmagic Cameras. What's it called? I think it's like, I don't remember what it's called, but it's from Blackmagic, which is this camera company, and they do make good cameras. Like I will say that, but they're bad at editing software, which I don't know how. I don't know how. If you're good in cameras, if you're good in like the camera film world, how do you mess up an editing software? I just don't understand that. But anyways, that's the thing that keeps crashing on me. And it's not it can't be my computer. Like I swear, it's not my computer, because when I'm not using this editing software, like this shit runs buttery smooth. Like it's honestly, it's a great laptop. I feel like I've complained about it a lot on this podcast, but it's really not that bad of a laptop. Okay, it's really good. It does the job. It records this podcast, so it's great, But the editing software is what sucks, and so I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I would just record the footage, and then I would bring the footage into the lab, and I would edit it on Premiere Pro, because it was just much easier. And I kind of thought that I would just use it to just edit, and that's it, right? And I would just use it for like my main channel stuff, because my editing software runs relatively smooth when I'm just doing the podcast. But it's when I start getting like really detailed in the editing that it starts getting messed up. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do my main channel edits here, and then I'm just going to export it, bring it back home, and then I'll upload it. But yesterday, I went into the lab early to start editing the video. And so I got pretty far in it before class started. Had class. My second class got canceled because there was nothing for us to do. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to go home like 3 hours early, so I'll just stay until when class would normally end editing this video, and then I'll go home, because I didn't want to stay until 5. Because I mean, that's when the lab closes. The lab closes at 5. And I didn't want to stay until 5 because I didn't think I would be able to fully finish editing the video that day. But by the time I got to like around the time that I was planning on leaving, I only had a little bit of the video left to edit, and I was like, I feel like I could finish editing this by like before the lab closes. Like, I feel like I can get this fully done. And I was like, that would be great, because then I can export it and I could bring it home and then just upload it tonight. And so I kept going until I finished editing the video. And I finished editing the video at like 4:58 or something like that. And I was like, oh, sweet. And so I was going to do a watch through, but the lab was closing. And I'm like, I've just spent like the last 5 hours editing this. I'm sure it's fine. So I went to render it, and it said the rendering was going to take 5 minutes to render the video. And so I was like, okay, well, that's going to kind of suck, because that's, like 5:03, But I was also like, hey, the lab staff likes me, so like they'll probably be chill with it, right? And so one of the lab instructors came in, and he's like, hey, we're closing in like a minute. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, for sure. Fully thinking, I'm like, yeah, but I'm still going to stay here because I still have to export the video. And so I'm rendering it, and it gets to 5, and it's still like 2.5 minutes left to render. And this is just to render. Like, it's not even to export, which exporting was going to take like another 5 to 10 minutes. But also, once again, I was like, yeah, these guys like me. They'll let me stay another 10 minutes, But like right when 5 came, the dude like comes out from the back room, all packed up, ready to go. He's got his bags on. He's ready to go. And he's like turning off the lights, and he's just like staring at me. And I'm like, I kind of looked like I was in the process of like leaving. I had like my backpack on, even though I wasn't planning on putting anything in my backpack for like another 10 minutes. But I just want to make it look like I was getting ready to leave. But then when I saw that he was standing out there, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to keep him. He's set. He's ready to go. And so I just canceled it. And I was like, honestly, this might be for the better, because then I can come in the next morning and watch through it a couple times, make sure it's actually good, and then render it and export it. And so that's what I did. I went in early today, and I watched through it. And luckily I didn't export it yesterday, because there were a few issues with it that I had to fix. And so I fixed those. I rendered it and I exported it. And I was going to leave it at that. I was going to bring it home and upload it. But I was also like, when I try to upload stuff to like Canvas, like my homework with my home Wi-Fi, it takes a bit, like, especially when I'm trying to upload videos to Canvas, like it'll take like 5 minutes. Okay. Cause usually the videos that I upload, they're like, like a few minutes. So like 2 to 3 minutes. Right. So they're not that big of a file. But when I try to upload at school to Canvas, like it's like that. It takes like 3 seconds and the entire video is uploaded. And so I was like, considering for YouTube, for the podcast, if it's like an hour-long episode, it takes like 2 hours to upload. And that's 2 hours just to upload the standard edition. That's not even for the HD edition. That's not even for 1080p. Okay, 1080p takes another 2 hours to render and upload to YouTube. And so I think for one of my main channel videos, when I uploaded it, it took like about an hour, because it is shorter, but it took about an hour total to upload, which I didn't really think was that bad. Like, I thought that that's good for Wi-Fi. But I was like, you know what? How about we try uploading this video that I just exported? Let's try uploading it here using the lab's Wi-Fi. And so I upload it, and I'm as it's uploading, right? You can fill out the details of it, right? The title, the description, and you can put the end cards and all that stuff, and then you can schedule for when it drops. And so I did all of that, and I'm pretty used to doing it. So like I do that really fast. I feel like I took like 5 minutes to fully do all the details. And by the time I finished, I was like, okay, well, let's see how much time is left. I looked down to see like the estimated time until it's fully uploaded, and it's already done. HD and everything. And did all the checks. HG's uploaded, and I'm like, that took like 5 minutes. What? I'm like, that is insanely fast. And so I was like, you know what? Screw bringing this shit home and uploading. I'm just going to upload at the lab's Wi-Fi because that's so much faster. And so for this, I'm probably just going to go in and and upload this podcast episode with the lab's Wi-Fi because it'll probably be so much faster. Probably upload in like 10 minutes. But yeah, so not to promote myself, but another video is coming out. It's coming out Friday, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But yeah, it's coming out Friday. I mean, honestly, I guess I could like drop it sooner because like it's not like I'm trying to put myself on a schedule for the main channel. But I don't know. I just been kind of vibing with dropping shit on Fridays. But I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. We'll see. Because like obviously the video is ready to go. It's just chilling. It's unlisted. It's just chilling, ready to go. So I don't know. Maybe I'll drop it. Maybe I'll drop it at the same time of this podcast episode. So like when this drops, you could be like, does that mean the video dropped? Go to my main channel. It'll probably be there. Or if you do the right thing and you put the bell icon on, you'll get notified for when the main channel drops. So, hey, just another thing that you can do to know first when that video drops. So there you go. Free tips. All right, just gave you a free tip right there. Click the bell icon. There you go. But yeah, I was about to end the episode, but then I realized that I was gonna talk about a topic that was on my long forgotten list. So there was something I put on my list a while ago. I don't even remember putting this on my list, but I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I guess that's kind of interesting. So I guess I'll talk about it. So so the topic was talent shows that I've been in, and yeah, I've been in talent shows. I was in. If we're talking technically, I've been in more than I can count. But like I was in drumline when I was younger. I was with my school's drumline, and we were just, I don't know if we were required to, but we were always signed up to play in the talent show every year. Whether I wanted to do it or not, it didn't matter. I was in the drumline and we had to do it. So I'm not going to count those. I'm going to count the three that I willingly myself said, I am signing up for the talent show. So this was in high school. So like my freshman year, the talent show was coming up, and I kind of thought, I was like, yeah, that's kind of dumb. It's kind of stupid. What kind of idiot would want to do the talent show, right? But then my friend came up to me and said, hey, do you want to do the talent show? And I didn't want to be mean to him, so I said yeah. And so he had this idea where like him, me, and another friend of ours, like we would do some sort of like music thing. And like I was going to be on like the snare drum, because that's what I played in drumline. I played like the snare drum, like ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, you know what I'm saying? And my friend who recruited me, he was going to be on the drum set. And then our other friend is an amazing piano player. And so he was going to play the piano. Like, shout out to him. Like, he's going to Notre Dame to pursue music, and he plays organs, and it's crazy. He's like crazy good. I don't know how you play that. Like, because you even got like the foot piano, whatever it's called. I don't even know what they're called, but it's a piano for your feet. And you even got like the two rows, and sometimes there's like even three, and it's just crazy. And so shout out to him. Like, he's extremely talented. And that's not the only instrument that he plays. He was also in drumline with me. So he also plays drums. He would play like the quads, or the tenors, as they're called, for all the band nerds out there. Tenors. And it was like four drums in front of him, and he like, you know? So that's what he played. Among, I think he played other instruments too. I don't know. I don't know his entire discography, or whatever the fuck it's called. But yeah, so he's a great piano player. So we recruited him to play the piano for the talent show. And my friend who recruited me, he's like, hey, there's like this dubstep song. I know. Dubstep isn't like the coolest genre of music anymore. Huge disclaimer. I was never really into dubstep a whole lot. I did listen to some songs, like obviously like Bangarang was like an extremely popular song when I was a kid, so obviously I've heard that song. But I wasn't really huge into dubstep. I never really understood the appeal of it because there's like no words except for Bangarang, where the only word in the entire song is Bangarang. But anyways, yeah, so he had this dubstep song he wanted us to play. And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna like play it on the drum set, and he's gonna play on the piano. And then like, honestly, I didn't even have to be there based off like how we played. But he's like, and then you play the snare, you play like your bit. And so I was like, okay, that sounds cool to me. But I did want it just to be like three dudes who come up and just like beat some drums and play the piano, right? So I was like, okay, are we gonna have like a theme? Are we gonna have like a costume? Because also, I think the talent show had a theme, which honestly I think is like the stupidest idea ever. But the person who would head up the talent show thought it was an amazing idea. They're like, oh my God, we're gonna have themes. And I'm like, you're kind of like alienating a bunch of people who want to take part in the talent show but can't because it's not gonna fit in with the theme. So the first year that we did it, it was American theme. And I'm like, that is the most boring theme ever, right? I know what you're thinking. Dubstep is American. How is that like America themed? Well, we kind of like skirted around that and we said, oh, well, our group is called American Fiasco. And what we did was we bought these like Halloween masks that had like an American flag print on them. And so we're like, hey, we're American, And so that's how we skirted around that. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like there's probably a shit ton of like good singers at that school probably who wanted to join the talent show, and they're like, okay, but I wanted to sing Single Ladies, but that's not American. I mean, I guess you could say she's an American singer, so it kind of fits. But either way, it was really stupid. Theming for the talent show, really dumb. So we did that. That was pretty cool. I think we got like best instrumental. I think that's what we won, which basically everyone got a prize for the talent show. But there was like an overall, I think like the top one, the most coveted prize, I guess you could say, was I think it was the fan favorite. And so basically it's what it is. Like the people who watch the talent show could like vote on like their phones or a piece of paper, whatever it was. I don't remember. They could vote for like which act was their favorite. And so I guess that was like the most coveted one because that was the last one they would present. And there was no like best overall because that would be mean to everyone who didn't get best overall. That means they suck. So, but we still like fan favorite is like the best one. But we got best instrumental, which I guess was cool. Also, I wasn't really expecting a whole lot. I was honestly expecting us not to get anything because not that we sucked or anything. Like I still think it was like a good act. But I don't know. Just wasn't anything too special. It was just two dudes beating a drum and one dude playing a piano with Halloween American masks on. That's all it was. And it was a really cringy name, American Fiasco. But honestly, like I can't deny it was fun. So like even though it was cringe, I do enjoy it. Like I'm not talking shit about my friends and our ideas. It's just looking back, it was kind of cringe, but it was fun. But the next year, my sophomore year, once again, I was like, ew, who wants to do the talent show? But then I got a pretty good idea because I think the theme of that year was just movies, which I'm a big fan of movies. That's why I'm taking film. And so I was like, I'm in the band and I like movies. What if we did something from a movie that had to do with a band? And so I looked to Blues Brothers, the movie, and I was like, what if we did something like that? Like, what if I recruited a bunch of people to play the instruments like trombone, trumpet, alto sax, tenor sax, bass drum, electric guitar, drum set, and piano. I think that's like all the instruments that they have. There's probably more, but I don't remember. But like those were kind of like the ones I really remember. I was like, what if I recruited people to play all those instruments and I would get a singer to sing the song and I'll just be Elwood, who does kind of sing, but not a whole lot. He's kind of just like background act, so to speak. And so I'm like, hey, I'm fine with that. And so I recruited a bunch of people. I was like, hey, I got this idea for the talent show. Do you guys want to partake? And luckily, I got a bunch of people who hopped on and said they wanted to do it. And so we had a few practices where we would play the song. I think the first year we did it, because we did it 2 years. The first year we did it, the song was Everybody Needs Someone. I think that's the name of the song. And that was pretty good. What did we win that year? I think that year we won fan favorite for that one. Which, like I said, that was the most coveted one. So we felt pretty high and mighty when we won that. We're like, hell yeah, we're the best, you know? Even though there's not a best overall, this might as well be best overall. Y'all suck. Just kidding. There's a lot of really good people. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And everyone loved us. And I enjoyed doing that a lot. And so the next year for the town show, I was like, I'm putting the band back together. Line from a movie. You see what I did there? I'm like, we're putting the band back together. Let's do another song. And I remember when I first brought the idea to these guys to do it the first year, I already knew the song I wanted to do was Everybody Needs Somebody. But when I asked them if they wanted to do something like the Blues Brothers and all that stuff, a lot of them were like, so are we going to do Soul Man? Because I think that was popularized because of the Drake and Josh episode where they were like the Blues Brothers and they sang Soul Man. And so they're all like, oh, we're doing Soul Man? And I'm like, no, we're not. Okay, we're not going to be a fucking cliche. We're doing a different song. And arguably, I think Everybody Needs Somebody is better than Soul Man. Sue me. I still think Soul Man's a good song. But the second year, I was like, I want to do this again. And I guess we will appeal to what the band wants and we'll do Soul Man. So they were all hyped about that. And so, but our singer didn't want to do it again, I don't think. And so we got a different dude who I think he was on the drums the first year. We got him up to be the singer because he really wanted to sing and he wasn't really that bad. And we got somebody else to fill in for the drums. And I think the second year was better in terms of like music and like how everything went because like when you watch the first year, because we have it all recorded, the dude who was on the drums is like really heavy into like filming kind of. He would always put like GoPros on his Shako. That's what the hat is called. Band nerds. You guys are probably freaking out that I know all this shit. But he would put like a GoPro on his Shako and he would like record him playing the trumpet. And he's like, you know? And so he was really into that. So he would set up cameras all around the stage to record our show from like every angle, which honestly is pretty cool. I kind of thought it was cringy back in the day because, you know, I'm trying to be all cool and I'm like, dude, that's so cringe. You want to record us? But looking back, thank you, because now we got a badass video of us playing in the town show. So what was I even saying? Oh yeah, if you look back at the first show, I was kind of awkward up there. Like I didn't want to dance too much, but I'm like trying to move a little bit. Also, like I didn't really have that much rhythm back then. I've got much more rhythm now. Like I really like bust a move. You know what I'm saying? And so the second year, I was like, I gotta bang out these moves. Like, you know, I gotta look like I'm supposed to be on Dancing with the Stars, and so people will be like, oh my god, do you see this guy? You see what he's doing? And I'm not talking TikTok dances, okay? I did dances a lot cooler than that. So, and we did the same thing. We recorded it from like 20 different angles, this dude. And so we got the video. And like I said, I think the second year was better, but we didn't win fan favorite because it's kind of rigged the second year. But yeah, we didn't win. I don't even think we won anything the second year, which I was like, the fuck? No, actually, no. We did win something. I think we won Best Instrumental again for the second year, even though we did sing. So it's not really an instrumental. I know there was a lot of instruments, but it wasn't really an instrumental. Either way, we did win Best Instrumental because it's like a participation award. Everyone wins something from anything. And but yeah, then my senior year, like half the people I had recruited to be in the band had like graduated the year before. Like our second year was their last year. And so I didn't want to recruit new people. And also I just wasn't really feeling it. Senior year, I didn't really want to do it. There wasn't really a song I really wanted to play. But if we did do it, the song I would have chosen is Sweet Home Chicago. Because I do like that song. So I guess what could have been. But I didn't want to recruit anybody. People, like when the town show came closer, some of the guys who were a part of the band, they're like, hey, are we doing it again? And I'm like, hey, if you guys want to do something and you guys want to find new people, like, you guys can do it, but I'm not heading it up this year because I headed it up the last 2 years. And so I'm like, I don't want to do it again. Like, I'll participate if you guys want to do it again, but I'm not heading it up. And so we just didn't do it because no one took charge and headed up the act, I guess. But it was fun, those 2 years. But yeah, that was my those were my 3 talent shows that I was in. Well, so there's like another story that I guess was like a part of it or whatever. So like the night of the show of like our second year, we were just like chilling in the auditorium, waiting for this meeting that was supposed to be happening. Like the teacher who was heading up the talent show, she was gonna have a meeting with us, and we didn't know where she was. Everyone just didn't know what to do, and so I was hungry, and there was this smoothie place right down the street that a lot of us band nerds went to. Yes, I was a band nerd in high school. Okay, unfortunately, but there was a smoothie place that was right down the street. And so we used to go there a lot to get smoothies, and I really wanted a smoothie. I was hungry. And so I was like, okay, we're not doing jack shit. I want to get a smoothie. And so some other of my friends who were a part of the group were like, yeah, we want smoothies too. And so this one dude is like, okay, well, I'll drive us because I didn't have a car on campus. He's like, okay, I'll drive us down the street. And I think actually the time for the meeting was like in like 5 minutes or something like that. But we kind of thought that she wasn't going to show up because she wasn't there at all. No one knew where she was. And I think it was also pushed back like 15, 30 minutes, something like that. So we're like, yeah, she's just not showing up. So it's really not going to be that big of a deal. And plus, it's just going to be an informational thing where it's like, this is how the talent show works and all that stuff. And we had been through it twice. I had been through it 3 times. I didn't need to hear it again, even though it was required to attend this meeting. Or supposedly you were like thrown out of the show. But I really wanted a smoothie, and a lot of us wanted a smoothie. So we're like, okay, we'll go to the smoothie place. And I was kind of nervous because I didn't want to get kicked out of the show. And so I was like, I guess we got to be here for the meeting. So let's kind of see how long it's going to take to drive down the street so we can know if this is like feasible or anything. And when I put it into Google Maps, I think the drive was like 6 minutes. It was going to be a 6-minute drive. And so I was like, dude, the meeting is in 5 minutes. It's a 6-minute drive. There's no way we're going to be able to drive there, order our smoothies, and get it and drive back. And the dude's like, no, don't worry. I'll get us there in 2 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, right. Sure enough, bro got us there in 2 minutes. Flat. I'm not even kidding. I was amazed. I gave him like a big-ass high five, even though I almost died in the car. I was freaking out because he was driving insane to get there in 2 minutes. But we got there in 2 minutes, and so I was like, this is great. So 2 minutes to drive there, 2 minutes to order and get our smoothies, and 2 minutes to drive back. Like, I'm thinking like this is going to be great, and we'll only be like a minute late, you know? No big deal. It's not like it's going to start on time or anything. So we get to the smoothie place, and when we walk in, we get this text, and this dude's like, oh, the meeting just started. And I'm like, okay, it's like 3 minutes early. Like, what the hell? And so I was like, okay, but we can still get our smoothies, right? And when we went up to the guy, we're like, how long does it going to take to get our smoothies? And he's like, oh, it takes about like 3 or 4 minutes to make the smoothie, each smoothie. And I was like, well, fuck this. We're not getting our smoothies. So we had to get back in the car, and we had to drive back. And when we drove back, the dude who texted us and said the meeting had started. Like, by the time we came back, he's like, yeah, the meeting was over. She was just telling us that we have to be back here by such and such a time. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We could have gotten our smoothies, and we weren't even kicked out, even though we didn't attend the meeting. We weren't even kicked out of the show. But I still think about that. I still want a smoothie. Like, I think about it, and I'm like, damn, I really wish I could have gotten that smoothie. It makes me kind of want to go out. It makes me want to go to that specific smoothie place and get the smoothie that I deserve. Go up to the guy and be like, bro, I came in here 4 or 5 years ago now wanting a smoothie, and I didn't get to get it. And so make me the best smoothie you've ever made. I deserve it. I've been waiting 5 years for this thing. But yeah, I'm not doing that. It's not that big of a deal. Speaking of smoothies, though, Wawa's Siptopia is back. And so I was like, this past week, I was like, I haven't had a smoothie from Wawa in a long time. So, like, why don't I just go get one? You know, because they're having some sort of sale or something like that. So I go there. And if you ever been to a Wawa is a gas station, right? But it's like a really nice gas station. It's like one of the best gas stations I've ever seen. It's not like your typical convenience store. It's like its own like nice ass store, and it's got like a restaurant, so to speak, where they make burgers and hoagies and smoothies and all this stuff. Like, it's really good. And so I go in there, and to order, they got like this screen, this like touch screen. And you go up and you like pick what you want, and then you order it, and they give you the receipt, then you pay for it, and then you come up and you pick up your food, or you pick up your food and then pay for it, whatever you want to do. Point is, you got to pick up your food and pay for it. In one way or another, that's what you got to do. So I go up to order. Now, usually when I go to get a smoothie, I usually get a peach mango smoothie, which honestly is my second choice. My first choice, they took off the menu. They used to have like 4 slides of different smoothie flavors, and then they boiled it down to 1 slide, and they had gotten rid of my favorite flavor, which I don't remember what it was. It was probably like, I think it was like coconut and pineapple, which is basically a pina colada. And they took that off the menu, and it pissed me off. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess my next favorite would be peach and mango, because that's pretty good. So I go in there, pick the smoothies, and now peach mango is gone. Now they just have mango. And they have peach banana, which I guess is still good, but I didn't want to try it. I didn't feel like trying it. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just get the mango one. I can't believe you guys got rid of my second choice. Now I have to go to my third choice that I've never had before. I've never had just plain mango from Wawa. But I was like, I guess we'll try it. So I picked the mango, and I usually get the 24 ounce because I'm a skinny boy. I could use a little extra pounds. So I usually get the bigger size. And plus, I like a lot of food. So I always go for the bigger size. But they didn't have 24. Like, it just wasn't there on the menu. Like, it was just gone. They had 2 sizes. It's 16 and 24. But there was just no 24. There was no option for it. So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, are they out of stock, or did they just not give you smoothies in 24-ounce cups anymore? And so, like, I'm kind of like restarting and all that stuff, and nothing's working. I even go to a different one, and still same thing. It's only 16 ounce. And so I was like, all right, fine. I guess they don't do 24 ounce anymore. So I click 16, and they ask for whipped cream, which I always do. Once again, I could use the extra pounds. And then they have like a thing where they're like, oh, do you want to add protein, energy, or something else? And I usually add the protein because also the grind never stops. You got to get those gains. You know what I'm saying? Protein. And so I get the protein, and usually they have an option to add yogurt or not to your smoothie, which I always get because I think it adds really nice taste to it. You know, like the yogurt is awesome. I also love yogurt. But it just like after I added the protein, they're just like, okay, your order's complete. Do you want to pay for it? Or like you have to like check that you're done with your order for them to print out the receipt. And so they're like, okay, are you done? I'm like, no, I didn't get my yogurt, you know? And so like I go back a few steps, and I'm like, where's the yogurt? Okay, I had the whipped cream again, add the protein. Okay, we're done. And I'm like, no, I want the yogurt. Where's the yogurt? And so I exit out of everything again, and I go to another one. There was like 4 different like ordering devices. I go to another one, same thing. I'm like, do they not do yogurt anymore either? What the hell is going on? First of all, you take away my first favorite flavor of smoothie, okay? Then you take away my second favorite flavor of smoothie. Then you take away the 24 ounce, which is what I usually get. And then you take out the yogurt? I'm like, what's going to happen next? No whipped cream? Next time I go, that's the next thing to go is no whipped cream. And then they're going to take out the protein. And then like sooner or later, you're going to pick smoothies, and you're going to pick mango, and they're just going to hand you one. They'll be like, make it yourself. That's where we're going. But anyways, I was like, but so I didn't really want to get it, but I was like there. I was like, I haven't had a smoothie in a while, so I got it. And they also asked if I wanted to add It was basically like boba tea. It was like boba things, but it was like the popping ones. It wasn't like the gummy ones. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll try those because it's like a new thing with Wawa. And I haven't had boba tea in a long time, which I also like boba tea. I know, like I'm just like hitting all the cliches, all the really nerdy stuff. But I got the boba tea things. I got mango because what the fuck else was I gonna put in there? They didn't have peach boba. I think they just had strawberry and mango. And I love strawberries. I think strawberry is probably my favorite fruit. But still, I was like, we'll keep it the same. We'll just get a mango. So I get that. And I paid for it and I got my drink. And it was still good. I missed the yogurt a lot. I also missed the larger size. The boba tea was pretty good. But yeah, that just kind of like pissed me off. I was like, dude, what did you guys do to my smoothies? I even like looked up on Google. I was like, does Wawa do yogurt and smoothies anymore? And everyone's like, how to get a smoothie with yogurt. And it was just like, order it. I'm like, okay, well, what if it's not there? Like, what if it's just not on the menu? What do I do then? Do I have to like speak to a representative? And then I read somewhere that it said, oh, if they ran out, they take shit off the menu. So like that's the reason why the 24 ounce wasn't on the menu at all, is because they ran out. So instead of having the picture there like they usually do and just saying out of stock, they just took it off. They're just like, no, you don't have the option. And so like now I'm sitting here wondering, do you still have 24? Like, is that still a thing you guys do? And so I guess they were out of yogurt too at the time I went to get my smoothie. And so they just didn't have that section of the ordering process. They're like, we're out of yogurt. I mean, I don't know what else you would do there, but it would be nice if there was like just a slide where like you would usually order the yogurt and they're just like, we're out of stock. And so you're like, oh, okay. And you just go to the next slide. Like, I'm not going to be upset where I'm like, why'd you give me this extra step when you don't even have it? You might as well just take it off. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, oh shit, they're out, which still sucks, but at least you told me. At least I'm not sitting here thinking Wawa's going down the drain because you guys don't put the yogurt in the smoothie anymore. Because that was literally like the best part of the smoothie was the yogurt. But yeah, it was still good. Like Wawa's still good, but it's just like, guys, fix your menu system. Add my top flavor again, which I'm pretty sure was coconut pineapple, or was it like mango pineapple? I don't remember. But whatever your original list of smoothies are, just bring all of them back. Honestly, just do that. It'd be so much better. Because also more variety. You guys used to have like 4 pages of smoothies, and I'm like, this is amazing. You got a plethora of options. This is great. I can come in and try every single one. That's awesome, even though I didn't. But I could have had a lot of smoothies. But now I can get a different smoothie every day of the week, and I'm done by the first week. That's like how many options you guys have left. And they probably all suck because they're not the original coconut pineapple, whatever my favorite was. It's kind of bad that I don't remember my favorite smoothie flavor, but they got rid of it like 2 years ago or something like that. But I'm still salty about it. I'm still mad that they got rid of my smoothie flavor. I mean, has that ever happened to like any of you guys where like you go to, there's like a restaurant that you go to a lot that has like a certain thing on the menu that you love a lot, and they just like take it off, and you're like, why? Why did you do that? That was amazing. Then you guys got rid of the one good thing you guys had on the menu. Like when I was younger, like when I was a kid, like still ordering off the kids menu kid, I would go to the Outback and I would get the mac and cheese. But don't make fun of me because that was literally to this day the single best mac and cheese I've ever had in my entire life. I haven't had it in a long time, but now it's only on the kids menu, and they I've tried going I tried getting it like on the side, be like, hey, can I get my entree and then just like replace this side with just the kids menu size mac and cheese or whatever, but they're like, no, you're not a kid. I'm like, dude, come on, I just want the mac and cheese, man. But yeah, they have this amazing mac and cheese at the Outback. Literally my favorite thing. And they used to put a shit ton of cheese in it, right? Shit, my PC's dying. A little bit longer. Let me finish my mac and cheese story, okay? just hang on. Okay, so they used to like drown it in cheese. Right? Like it was almost like a mac and cheese soup. Like that's how much cheese was in it. And I wasn't complaining. That was amazing. Because also, they give you the free bread. And when I'm done with the mac and cheese, I take the bread and I scoop up the cheese with the bread. It was amazing. I'm like living as a kid. I'm like, dude, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Sliced the bread and now I'm scooping up cheese with it. Amazing. And when I got older and I stopped getting stuff off the kids menu, I saw on the main menu, like the adult menu, big boy menu, they had the mac and cheese. And I was like, adult size mac and cheese? This is incredible. So I ordered it. And that's why I used to get all the time. I know it's probably still like a kiddie thing to do to get mac and cheese as an adult. But, well, I mean, maybe it's not that kiddie because my friend, when we went to the restaurant at Port Canaveral, he got a fish mac and cheese, which was just mac and cheese, but it had like shrimp in it and stuff. And I think scallops, like bay scallops or something like that. But yeah, he got mac and cheese. He's a big boy, so I guess it's not that kiddie. But anyways, yeah, I would get the mac and cheese. I'm like, this is amazing. And then one day we go in for a family dinner, and I'm like hyped as all ass, okay? And I'm ready to get that mac and cheese. And they're like, hey, we updated the menu. We got a new menu. And it's like this nice menu. And I was like, this is great, Nice new menu. And so I open it up and I get to the pasta page and I'm like, where's the mac and cheese? So like I called the waiter back. Oh, come on. Did my PC died? Come on, it was just like a few extra minutes. All right, whatever. Yeah, so I call the waiter back over and I'm like, yo, where's, like, do you guys have the mac and cheese? And they're like, oh yeah, that's on the kids menu. And I was like, yeah, but like, what about the adult mac and cheese? And they're like, oh yeah, we don't do that anymore. We got rid of that when we got the new menus. And I'm like, why would you do that? That was like the best thing you guys had on the menu. Why would you get rid of that? And like and that's not even like the worst part. I mean, like, since I had like upgraded from like the kids menu to like the adult menu, like in that time frame, right, they had been kind of like downgrading the mac and cheese over that period of time. Like they would give you less and less cheese with the mac and cheese. So it was just like at a point where it's just like noodles. And so like it got to a point where I would like ask for like extra cheese. I'm like, yo, can you just give me a bowl on the side of just the cheese sauce? That's all I want, And yeah, thankfully they obliged and they would bring it out just so I can like drown those puppies in cheese, because like they would just like stop giving you a lot of cheese, and I'm like, that's like your staple. That's like the thing you guys do. You guys give me mac and cheese soup. That's what you guys do. So why are you trying to switch up on me? Right? I mean, like, has that ever happened to like you guys where there's like a restaurant or a place that you guys really like? There's like a thing on there that they really like, that you really like, and then like one day you go and they just like take it off, and you're like, what the fuck? Why'd you do that? Why did you think that was a good idea? Of all the things that you could have done, why'd you do that? It was just like, I don't get it, guys. So you guys had the perfectly good mac and cheese, and like not even that, but it's just like you guys have the mac and cheese. You have it. You just don't want to give me an adult portion. Because like every once in a while, I try to get the mac and cheese, like just on the side. I was like, yeah, can I just replace one or even two? If you think it takes two, cool, okay. Just replace some of my sides with the mac and cheese so I can have it again, because it's been a long time since I had it, and they're just like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, dude, what? I don't understand. Why not? It's like the stupidest thing. It's like that scene that I get recommended to me all the fucking time on like Instagram and stuff like that. It's like a short video of like Ricky Gervais. He's like in like the show or this movie or whatever it is. But he's like at like this restaurant with like his nephew or something, or his kid. I don't know the relationship, but he's with a kid. And while he's there, he says to the waitress, he's like, "Hey, I'm not really that hungry. Can I just get like this thing or whatever it was? I don't remember." And she's like, that's a kid's portion." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm just not that hungry." She's like, "Well, I can't give that to you." And he's like, "Why not?" And she's like, "Because it's for kids." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm not that hungry, so I just want a smaller size portion of some meal or something like that." And they're like, "No." And I don't get it. Like, why can't you? It's not like I'm trying to ask for it for free. It's not like I'm like, "Hey, give me the kids menu mac and cheese because, kids eat free." You guys don't do that. Like, I'm going to pay for it. Like, I don't care. I'm going to do that regardless. I want to have the mac and cheese again. I haven't had it in a long time. But they're like, "No, we can't do that." I'm like, "Dude, well, I just want the mac. Just give me the mac and cheese." I don't get, and there was like even like a few times where I'm like, maybe it's because I'm asking for it on the side. Like, what if I just like straight up ordered it, right? And so like I tried ordering it and they're like, "No, we can't do that." And I was like, "Okay, what if we come to a compromise? What if you give me what you would consider an adult-sized portion? Like like you usually give people pasta. It's like in the bigger bowl. Okay, well, just do that for the mac and cheese. Just give me the bigger bowl with a little bit more mac and cheese and charge me what the equivalent would be. I don't care. I don't care about paying more. I just want to have the mac again." And they're like, "No, we can't do that." And I'm like, "You guys have it in the back. You have the mac and cheese. It's not like I'm not asking you guys to go to the store, pick up some noodles and pick up some cheese for me. Like, I'm not asking for that. I want what you guys already have." Isn't that what restaurants are for? I ask for the food and you give it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand like why you can't just give it. I'm gonna pay for it. I don't know, but that's my rant on mac and cheese. Anyways, whenever you guys are listening to this on, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and leave a review. All that really helps me out a lot. And follow me on, or I should say, subscribe to my main channel, J Lines. It'll be linked in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, in like the top right corner, I think it is, there's like a thing that pops up, where it's like suggestions and stuff like that. So you'll probably see it. It probably pops up like right now. It'll say like, "Oh, J Lions, follow me there." So like, yeah, just click on that, subscribe to my main channel, and click that notification bell so you know when that new video drops. Or honestly, I'm kind of feeling like dropping it tonight. So, hell, it'll probably be already out by the time you guys are listening to this episode. But then you could just click the notification bell so you get notified for the next video that comes out. So just a hint for you there. So when new videos drop, just click the notification bell. I mean, you guys should already have it clicked now, but I'm forgiving. I'm in a forgivable. What the fuck, dude? Speak. I'm in a forgivable mood today, so you guys get a pass. Follow me on social media at RealJLions and at Lion on Main on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Love you. I don't know. Do I?